as Spain is trying to establish an empire in the New World, Portugal is actually exploring the world much sooner than Spain. Remember that Portugal expelled its Moors almost 200 years before Spain had ever done. And so they were able to undertake more exploration efforts than Spain ever could during this time period. We really start to begin to see that in the early 1400s with 1400, excuse me, with a prince known as Prince Henry the Navigator, and he would sponsor voyages to go and to explore a possibility of an all-water route to India. And so that's the nature of Portuguese exploration. They focus their attention a lot on Africa and going south around Africa and go around the Cape of Good Hope and find an all-water route to India. A better way to get to illustrate this is through a map. And sorry if it's, I don't think it's backwards, but if it is, I'm sorry. But nonetheless, when it comes to Portuguese exploration, it starts, of course, in the early 1400s, and it barely gets down halfway down the coast of Africa. All right, and it kind of reminds me of Finding Nemo. Remember Finding Nemo when there's the boat, or they call it the butt, and there's Nemo and his friends. They're going out challenging one another to go touch the boat, and one goes out farther, and then he loses heart, and the other one goes a little bit farther and loses heart, and then finally Nemo arrives goes all the way to the boat. Well, this is exactly what's going on here, almost. All right, I'm not saying that you're scared, but first we have the first tries by voyages done by Henry the Navigator, or sponsored by Henry the Navigator, going all the way to to basically almost halfway down the eastern coast of Africa. No, sorry, the western coast of Africa. Then we see a second voyage by a guy named Bartholomew Diaz. He goes and he almost gets around the Cave of Good Hope. But it's Nemo, the hero of the story, a guy named Vasco da Gama. He goes all the way around Africa, and in fact goes up the African coast, and of course makes a beeline for Calcutta, for India. So Vasco da Gama is the 15th century version of Finding Nemo. And the profits of this voyage are immense. He fills up his ships with a whole bunch of goods, jewels, spices, and whatnot, and he sails them back and makes an insane amount of profit for doing so. But why is it that we're trying to look for an all-water route? Why is what's so magical about an all-water route? Well, first of all, it's safer. There's few mountains out there. In fact, we call mountains in the ocean islands. So there's, we don't have to really worry about treacherous. I mean, you got to worry about treacherous waters, but you don't have to worry about treacherous land conditions. There's nobody really out there. There's no, you're not going to go through anybody's backyard when it comes to a hostile population like you would above.